Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. So we're going to be doing a couple of things today. We're going to be reviewing Surah Al-Ma3oon. Then we will also be reviewing Surah Al-Kawthar. And I'm referring to the readings. Because from what I remember is that we've completed, I believe, half of Surah Al-Ma3oon. And then last class we did Surah Al-Kawthar. And someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But if not, then we're going to jump right into that. So let me first share my screen. And while I'm sharing my screen, does anyone have any questions? Okay, cool. Okay, so Surah Al-Ma'un. So let me just go over what we have so far. Okay. هذه السورة مكية. The surah is Meccan. وقد تحدثت بإيجاز عن فريقين من البشر, and it talks about in a very brief way two groups from mankind. هما, they are. The first group is الكافر الجاحد لنعم الله, the complete disbeliever that rejects and then the that rejects the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. المكذب بيوم الحساب والجزاء. Okay, so this harf jar majrur is connected to al-mukadhibu. That what is it? What is he rejecting? He is rejecting the day of accountants, the day of judgment. So that's the first group, the straight up disbeliever. Second group, المنافق الذي لا يقصد بعمله وجه الله. The hypocrite. Okay, so it's not a full kafir, he is a hypocrite. And that's hypocrite that does not intend the pleasure of Allah in his actions. Okay. بل يرائي في أعماله وصلاته. Instead, he is just showing off. يرائي, this is really good to remember, right? رأى يرائي رياء. This is form 3. We'll learn it soon, inshallah. He is just showing off. Can someone remind me, did we do أما الفريق الأول? I actually don't think we
I
did.
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we did. Okay, so we'll start from here. Okay, so Zach, could you start us off by reading with the vowels?
For starting from where?
أما الفريق الأول.
Tariqu, can you actually like point to where that is? Sorry, forgot
Yeah,
where
just
that.
the beginning.
Okay, the next one. Okay, actually, I'm a little behind on this. Actually, I didn't do this part, so maybe I can maybe skip me for now, and then I can hop in
Okay,
later.
for sure. Yeah, we'll prioritize those who have this part done, inshallah. Zain, you are muted.
Sorry. أما فريق الأولى
أول
أو
أول.
أول فقد ذكر تعالى من صفاتهم آه، الذميمة.
Okay, I'll stop there. الذمي. So remember what we said, the letter before the ta marbuta always has a
كسرة.
fatha, right? الذميمة. Okay, very good. What does that mean, Zain?
Um, one group, uh,
What is
or
what
like
is amma?
first group.
Yeah, so this is first group, but what is
Yeah.
amma? Anyone?
Um, of of them. I'm not
Not
sure.
exactly.
It's like about.
Yes, about. Okay. Amma, about the first group. Go ahead,
Okay.
Zain.
So about the first group, um, indeed, uh, Allah Ta'ala mentions or uh, mentioned their disgraceful attributes.
Yeah. Yeah. So when min is used, um, what would be the difference? So the question is, what would be the difference if min is here and if min was not here, right? So فَقَدْ ذَكَرَ تَعَالَى صِفَاتِهِمْ الذَّمِيمَةَ versus فَقَدْ ذَكَرَ تَعَالَى مِنْ صِفَاتِهِمْ الذَّمِيمَةِ. When you have min, that indicates that not all of the sifat are going to be mentioned. Not all of the characteristics are going to be mentioned. He's only going to be mentioning some of them. So it's kind of like saying from the qualities, from the disdainful qualities of these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions. Make sense? All right, Maham, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. أنهم يهينون اليتيم ويزجرونه غلدة لا تأديبا.
Okay, good. What does that mean?
Um, that they humiliate the orphan and punish him harshly, not I didn't know what تأديبا meant. I couldn't find that one.
Okay, so ta'diban, is it on a pattern that looks familiar?
It's like it's Neiman the master for form
Okay.
two.
So what are the root letters?
Um, Hamza dal ba. So is it
Okay.
like punishment? Like not discipline?
Uh, not punishment, but discipline.
Oh, discipline. Okay.
Adab, right? So it comes from adab, meaning etiquette.
Mhm.
Ta'dib would be to discipline someone, to show them the etiquette. So
So
this
they
means that they're, yeah, go ahead.
so they're basically saying that the ones that humiliate the orphan and punish him harshly, but not out of discipline.
Yeah, they're not doing anything out of discipline. They're just doing it simply out of malice, spite, whatever the reason is, out of oppression, essentially.
Got
Okay.
it.
That's one of their qualities. Okay. This is أما الفريق الأول. So who is فريق الأول again?
The first group.
Yeah. Who are they? I want us to keep
The
the context in
disbelievers.
mind. The disbelievers. Right? I want us to keep the context in mind as we read. Right. We're not just reading for grammar. We're reading for because this is the actual part of the tafsir. Okay. Let's continue forward. Tamir.
ولا آه، يفعلوا يفعلون الخير حتى ولو بالتذكير.
So okay. So right here. Does anyone know how to read this? It's not بِالتَّذْكِيرِ.
Sorry, you skip the alif, so it becomes بالتذكير.
Very good.
بالتذكير um, بحق
Mm-hmm.
المسكين
Mm-hmm.
وال والفقير.
Good. Let's stop there. What does that mean? ولا يفعل الخير حتى ولو بالتذكير بحق المسكين والفقير.
And they do not do good, not even by reminding others of the rights of the poor and the needy.
Hmm. Okay. So, okay, did everyone get the same translation? Okay, so you're saying, Tamir, that even if so the way I translated it was um and they do not do good even with others reminding them, essentially. ولو بالتذكير, even with the reminder of the rights of the needy. Does that make sense? It's a little bit different than yours. I believe from what I understood from your translation is that you're saying that they don't do any good, even reminding others. Does that you're muted.
There's like a double mudaf ilayh there. I see what you mean. So it's bidadkiri with the reminder of the rights of the poor and the needy. Like
There's no mudaf ilayh here, or there's no like idafa construction here, right? Because this is just jar majroor, right? This is just jar majroor,
right,
and
but
then
isn't
jar majroor, and then this is idafa.
why is haqqi jar majroor? Oh, bihaqqi.
He,
Oh.
yeah.
Uh
Then mudaf ilayh.
so there are with even with the reminder.
Yeah. So this is a good one to remember, everyone. Hatta walau. It's kind of saying like even with.
Even with
Yeah. In reality, it's saying even if. Okay. So walau low means if, right?
yeah,
So
that's how I got it. So I was like, even if, and then I think that's how it rolled off like easier the way I said it.
yeah, but I think you need to take it a step further. So it's basically saying even if they are reminded with the rights of the needy, they still do not do they still do not do good.
Is tadhkir just a an ism? Like it's not a ism fa'il or anything. It's just like because I see the bad before that and I thought
You're
um
asking me, is it on a pattern?
yeah, I guess
It is on a pattern. What does it sound similar to? I asked the same thing of Maham earlier.
The tafsir
Yeah, tafsir,
form
taslim,
true masdar.
form to masdar, tadhkir. So dhikr means to remember. Tadhkir, what's the characteristic of form two?
Shad in the middle, root letter.
Not physical characteristic.
emphasis.
Emphasis and also
It's either causation or intensification.
yeah, emphasis or intensification or causation. So you're causing someone to remember, you're reminding, okay? Does that make sense on how we translated that? Anyone have any questions? We all good? Okay, good. All right. Zain?
From فلا
Hmm?
um فلا هم أحسنوا في عبادتي عبادتي آه ربهم.
Okay. And just finish it off.
Okay. ولا أحسنوا إلى خلقه.
Okay. So, did everyone get the same voweling? فلا هم أحسنوا في عبادة ربهم ولا أحسنوا إلى خلقه.
I said ahsanu.
Mahams, Zach, if you've done this, what are you guys thinking?
I said ahsinu as well.
Ahsinu. So we have two for Ahsinu. We have one for Ahsanu. Zach,
I'm still catching up. Sorry.
all good. Okay, so why did you guys say Ahsinu? And then I'll ask Tamer why you guys are saying, why you're saying Ahsanu. This is for Zain and Maham. Why are you guys saying Ahsinu?
I think I had this as I think I had this as form 4,
Okay.
and I remember that form 4 is not like form 4 has a pattern where the middle letter has a kasra. So that's
Okay.
why I had that.
But what is happening here? What is this? What form is this? فعل ماضي, فعل مضارع, فعل أمر. What is this?
It looks like a
Like,
فعل ماضي. And if you're saying it's form four, it should be أحسن. I think I put أحسن because I was just thinking of أحسن or like حسنة, like doing good. I don't know. I don't think
Zain.
I thought.
the la in the front though, I remember the negate, like, isn't this the la of like negation or something?
ناهية لا ناهية.
Nahiya, yeah.
So you would think that this would be like فعل مضارع or something like that?
I just remember that it would take the state of jar. Sorry, jazm.
Ism. Okay. So you're going towards like this is فعل مضارع and that's why there's a kasra there or something like that. Maham, what about you? Why did you say أحسنوا?
Yeah, that's how I was treating it too as a fi'l mudari, but now looking back at it, I think it might be fi'l madi, so it would be ahsanu.
Yeah, الماضي. It looks like the home conjugation.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
with the home, yeah. So I think it's
Yeah, so it can't be فعل مضارع, right? Because if this was the la of prohibition, sorry, not negation, if this was the la of prohibition, then you would have a that at the beginning, the that prefix. And then it would be tuhsinu. Okay. Also, you wouldn't have home, right? We don't have prohibition for third parties, for third persons, right? So this actually is past tense and it's just ahsanu. Now, that's not really a problem. It's not super common to see la and then past tense um after it. It's not super common, but it's possible. It's not really an issue. It doesn't break any rules. Okay, so this is ahsanu as well. Okay, so this is fi'al madi, tamam, conjugated for whom? So how would we translate this? Anyone?
Right, what form is this then? Form.
Or you were right about the form. You were wrong about the tense.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, so how would we translate this?
I said they did not do good in worshiping their Lord, and they did not do good to his creation.
Yeah. Yeah. So ahsana yuhsinu ihsan means to perfect. All right, to do not just to do good, but to do excellent. Right? So they did not perfect their worship of their Lord, neither did they perfect, right? Their essentially their actions and their akhlaq to the creation, with the creation. Any questions here? Are we all good on this paragraph? Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. I have home here. What is home? I don't even know where it is. I guess it's this one. Honestly, it could be a lot of things.
I said it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one. I put ism anna.
Yeah, I had the one at the end of the first line.
This
Yeah.
one? Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's a Okay, let's ask another question. What is the khabar anna maham?
For annahum, yuhinuna.
Okay, good. Um, what is ghilwatan? What do you guys get for this? Is it ghilwa? Is that what you found? I think that's correct. Sounds right.
Yeah, I said this was maf'ul mutlaq because it's like the clarification of the way that they were punishing the orphans.
That's
Like
what I said as well. Yeah.
I think it was like was it bayan al no or I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, bayan no.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it describing the action?
Isn't it because um they're insulting them like harshly? It's kind of like, it's like when you hit quietly or hard. I think that's the example.
What translation did you guys get for ghilwatan? What direct translation did you guys get?
Harshly.
Partially, yeah.
Harshly, ruthless, rudeness. That's what Hans Ware, I think, said. That's what I have written down.
Okay.
Um, I had ghil the tun with a dammatain on that
What,
because
why would it be?
isn't
Yeah.
the rule for ism does anna follow the ism kana or ism like
Inna.
it follows inna, right? So I thought with inna the mubtada is in the state of nasab and the khabar is in the state of rafa.
But the khabar we already said, the ism is hum, the khabar is yuhinuna.
Yeah,
So we're like past that.
but
We've already assigned the khabar.
then what is the fun? Because I thought that ghildatu, so I thought that that was a sifa to yes juruna.
So yazjurunahu is a fi'al. Fi'als can have sifas. You don't have a sifa to a fi'al. You have something like maf'ul mutlaq or maf'ul lahu or maf'ul fihi or hal or anything like that. Yeah, so I think so here's the thing with maf'ul mutlaq. Remember the rules? Okay, so it has to be a masdar. So ghillah is probably a masdar, but then it has to be synonymous to use yazjuruna. Is it yazjuruna or yuzjiruna?
I have Yazjuruna. It looks like a Form 1 to me.
So
Yazjur.
Yeah, same here.
So okay, so I'm looking this up as well. Zajara. That looks right. So the only thing is that is ghillatan a is that a synonymous with prevent, rebuke, scold?
I thought assumed it was because the way I thought about it was like it's like harshly and it's being harsh towards someone, like scolding them or punishing them. Um, that's kind of how I interpreted it.
Yeah, I kind of thought about it that way too. I kind of thought about it like I guess like the English way how said something like dariba dariban like hit hardly. Like I just kind of said rebuke harshly. But unless you're saying, I mean I do think it's a maf'ul. So if it's not that, the only other option would be maf'ul lahu because you're saying that they basically rebuked the orphans just because they're harsh and rude. Like that's
That's
your other
basically what
option.
I'm saying, right? That's what I'm introducing, but I'm not necessarily saying that you guys are wrong. I think maf'ul lahu makes sense, and I can give a stronger evidence because, like Damer said, why are they? If you ask what is Lilatan doing in the sentence, it's actually answering why they are acting that way. Yasjurunahu ghildatan. They are pushing them away. Yuhinuna, right? They're humiliating them out of harshness. And then look what comes right after it. La ta'diban. Not out of. So if we're saying not out of, right? Then that's that diban is like basically maf'ul lahu as well, right? It's describing that it's not out of discipline. So for me, what makes sense to me the most is maf'ul lahu. And then you also resolve the issue of, maf'ul mutlaq and maf'ul mutlaq has to be synonymous with the or should be synonymous with the verb itself. Does that make sense to everyone?
I think it makes sense, but could you clarify maf'ul mutlaq and maf'ul lahu really quick?
Sure, yeah. Maf'ul mutlaq is used for situations like if you want to describe the action itself. So, um, qumtu, which means I stood. Qiyama, qiyam is the masdar of this is the masdar, right? So this is مفعول مطلق. And it's a synonymous masdar to قمت, right? And I could say قيام النشاط. Nashalt means like alert, right? So I stood up alert, like or um I stood up قيام الشرطة. This is maybe a little bit easier to understand. I'm describing the way I'm standing. Shurta means like an officer, a police officer. So I stood up like a police officer. Notice how I'm describing how I'm standing. I'm describing the action itself. مفعول له is just saying why you did this, right? So قمت, I stood up. Why did you stand up? Um, خوفا. What does خوفا mean, right? Out of fear. And then you could expand on that, right? You could say خوفا من زكريا, right? I was scared of Zakaria, so I stood up. One is describing a reason, the other is describing how, or the action itself. And then obviously there's other uses for maf'ul mutlaq, right? As we discussed before, you can use it for like, intensification or other things, but this is a very big use case.
So it's not necessarily that the masdar is adding clarification. It's more that it's allowing you to add a clarifier. Like you can't just say qumtu qawman, like I stood tall. I think that's how I was interpreting that before you broke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, right? If in this situation you're kind of using the masdar itself to describe the action, whereas um and also it doesn't kind of fit the context of غِلْظًا لَا تَأْدِيبًا. I feel like مفعول له fits better. Um yeah. Or maybe sometimes you could even have hal, but I don't think hal, wait, sorry. Hal cannot be masdar, so it can't be hal. So yeah, I would just say maf'ul lahu. Does that make sense, everyone? Does everyone agree, disagree? What do you guys think?
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, here's kind of a hard one, but what do you guys think ta'diban is?
I said this was maf'ul lahu as well. Like not out of discipline.
Okay. What about everyone else?
Yeah, same.
Zayn, Zach, what do you guys think?
I had like a dad was short, but I don't. I think I'm mixing up concepts like the la um is
Yeah,
throwing me
that's
off.
not that's a short. This is not a conditional, right? Okay, so I conceptually you guys are correct that ta'diban is working like that, but here's the thing. La here is acting like a harf atf. Okay, so it's multiple thing. It's harf, nafi, and atf. Nafi just means negation, right? So la, we know la means negation, but it's also acting as a harf. So, for example, just imagine conceptually that this instead of lam, instead of la, there is a wa here. غلظة وتأديبا, right? We wouldn't call it تأديبا مفعول له, right? We would call it معطوف, and we would say معطوف على غلظة. Okay, so but it doesn't have to be a wow as long as it's a harf atf. Okay, so we would say this is ma'tuf, ma'tuf. Okay, and this is an important thing to understand because this does happen. This idea of la being a harf atf, it's a conjunction. So a conjunction does not always need to be and. Okay, can be not as well. Okay. But just remember, la is not always a harf atf. It just depends on how it's used. For example, right here, right after it, right? We see wala. So this is atf, And this is just simply nafi. Okay. So something to keep in mind. Okay, how are we feeling? Feeling good? Okay, let's talk about yuhinuna. Um, Tamar, can you tell me about yuhinuna? I think it should be down here.
I said it was form four, um, with the root letters being ha, wow, noon. Associated pronoun is fa'il is wa, state is rafa, and the sign is keeping the noon.
Good, good. Any objections? Okay, Maham, tell me about yazjurunahu.
I said this was form one. The root letters are Zaj, Jim, and Ra. And then pronoun is hum. The file is wow, or like the mere muttasil wow. Um, State is Rafa and sign is keeping of noon.
Good. Okay. So
How,
about the, sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
how do you know that was form four again?
Who wants to take that? How do we
Yeah,
know this is form four?
Yuhinuna,
yeah.
yuhinuna. Um, well, if there's a wow, I mean, there's a dhamma in the prefix, then it's either
Okay.
two or four. So that kind of narrows you down to two. And then if there's no shutdown in the middle root letter, you kind of get stuck with four.
All
That's
right.
kind
Thanks.
of the
Yep.
dirty way you figured it out.
Yeah, that's a good way of figuring it out. Yep. Also, this is interesting because it's a weak there's a weak root letter in it, the ya. So it acts a little bit differently. It doesn't follow exactly yuf'iluna. If you think about it, it follows yufi'luna. Um, but yeah, if you just follow as much as information you can and cancel out things, then you'll get there.
Because would you know that it had a dhamma with context? Because it wasn't valid, so I defaulted to fatha. But like, how would you
Yes,
know
so
it's
that's a great question. How did you guys figure it out, Maham and Tamir?
I'm pretty sure I looked this one up in the dictionary. I mean, yeah, you're right. Unless they give me the voweling, I have no idea how to figure it out. But yeah, I figured it out from the dictionary.
Yeah, it's very good, right? So you can assume form one first, and then you're gonna search for it, and then maybe you'll find it, maybe you won't find it. If you do find it, check if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then you keep looking, right? You look for the other forms that match. Right? So it's a little puzzle. It's a little puzzle game. That's the whole point of knowing your conjugations well, right? Okay. Let's see any other interesting stuff happening here. Okay, let's continue forward. All right. So Zane, can you read?
yep.
Or actually, Maham, can you read?
Yeah. Um, وأما الفريق الثاني فهم المنافقون الغافلون عن صلاتهم.
Okay, let's stop there. What does that mean?
About the second group, they're hypocrites. They're careless about their prayers.
May Allah protect us. Okay, any questions here? You all good? All right. Uh,
I,
yeah,
I guess one question here. Luna.
hmm
Um, I thought this was. Well, I guess we'll come to it later. Sorry, I didn't want to jump. I was when I was doing it, I was confused about the like the way
Grammatical
the
role.
sentence. Yeah, but we can come to that later.
Sure.
Yeah, I think in general I'm a little confused about the grammatical role for like phrases when it's like kind of like yeah this one al ghafiluna and then same like al munafiquna. It's like comma comma. It's like how to think of the grammatical role in that context is it's confusing for me a little.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about that. I mean, might as well just talk about it right now. Okay, so let's see. Number one, these are just helpers. They're not really there. Okay, so don't get confused by, oh, there's a comma here, there's a comma there. That means that this entire thing is a phrase, and then I have to treat it like a whole thing, the whole section together. That's number one. Number two, let's talk about fahum al-munafiquna. So what did we get for al-munafiquna?
Said it was a khabar.
Everyone else? Right? So it's a common detached pronoun is the mubtada. Al-munafiquna is the khabar. Okay, let's talk about al-ghafiluna. So again, we don't have to treat everything as a phrase. And actually, we should not if we don't need to. If there's no reason to, then we shouldn't. So let's treat al-ghafiluna by itself. What do you guys think al-ghafiluna is doing in the sentence?
Sifa.
What about everyone else?
I said Safa as well.
Yeah, I could see that.
Slifa, right? So
Yeah.
it's just describing the munafiqun, just adding descriptions to the munafiqun. So you would say that this is slifa, great. And then what is an salatihim doing? You would say that an salatihim, that the whole like the jar majrur, the harf jar ism majrur, it's just it has to do with ghafilun. Because the question is if you just say someone is ghafil, someone is careless, then the immediate next question would be what?
About what?
Exactly. So then you're just kind of clarifying. So you have your harf jar ism majrur kind of clarifying and attaching to al-ghafilun. All right. We all good? Make sense? Yeah. So basic rule, don't don't put things in phrases if you don't need to. Okay. All right, let's continue. I think who just read last? I think that was Maham. So let's go with Zamir.
Yeah, I'm gonna need help with that word. I put you what the you what do sorry you what do na basically I put a dhamma on the then I put a fatha on the there and then a shadda dhamma on the dal. Wow is just the sukoon and then I put a noon. I put a fatha on there.
يودونها.
Sorry, is it yuwadunaha? So what's
Oh,
the
you said?
hamza? Yuwadunaha?
Okay, great. You did it. You,
What?
that was it.
Oh, okay. I think I was confused about sometimes I still get confused when I see a hamza on the wow there because there should be a guttural stop, right? But then it's like, how do you combine that with a shadda on the next letter?
You can answer this. What is a wow with a Hamza doing? What's a Hamza doing there? He's acting sus.
Oh, the Hamza. Do.
It's just a Hamza, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no wow. It's just the way it's written.
Yeah.
So just a script, not even a scripting. That just honestly, I can't remember all the rules of why you would write it. It has something to do with the dhamma here. So if there's like a dhamma here or there's a dhamma before it, something like that. And then sometimes you'll see this, right? Sometimes you'll see it written almost like a yeah. And that usually has like a kasr on it or something like that. There's again some rules to it, but I don't really remember. You don't have to remember either. If
You
there's a Hamza on top of it, it's a Hamza. That's all it is.
yuwadunu yuwadunaha? Fi
يؤدونها. Yep.
okay, fi um oh oh qatiha
Okay. What does that mean?
let me see. Who do not perform them at their prescribed times.
Them being.
The prayers going back.
All right,
How do-
Zach, can you read from here?
Well, والذين يقومون بها لا المراؤون
Oh,
بأعمالهم.
you skipped
Oh yeah, I guess the what was it's in parentheses. So surah two and
okay.
then la And then I'm not sure of this one though.
Who knows this one? This is just ma'nan, okay? So it's always going to be ma'nan. It's not never going to be anything else because the last letter is alif maqsura, okay? So you just say ma'nan.
ma'nan. Okay.
And if there's an alif lam, then you say al-ma'na. But if there's no alif lam, you say ma'nan.
Yep. And then al-mura'una bi a'malahum
بِأَعْمَى
lahum
لَهُمْ. Why?
versus oh
بِأَعْمَى
lihum because B
لِهِمْ. Yeah, very good.
lihum. Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be more strict on everyone on their jar majrurs, okay? So just watch out. Okay. What does that mean, Zach?
That means and the ones who perform with him or with it. So yeah, this is actually yeah. I know like some of what the words mean, but I don't know what they mean together. I'm a little confused because like the ones that perform with him with it, um,
So ignore the B. Don't translate that. Just say perform it.
okay, perform it la without, I guess like
What
negating
about surah? What does surah mean?
sign. Oh, sorry, not surah, not sign. Surah means what does surah actually mean?
Surah.
Like in
What
the
is
same
surah?
meaning as like, surah in the Quran. Like
No, not so. That's surah. That's with a seen.
oh, okay. I assume that was just like a
Okay, who
continuation of
knows what surah means? Come on, guys. I know everyone did the translation. You're supposed to do the translation. What did we get? Come on.
I translated it as like show, like to show.
Yeah, but does anyone know what surah literally means?
Isn't it like photo?
Yeah, surah means a photo, image.
oh,
Okay, so Maham is on it. She said, right? For show. They're doing it for show. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but whatever. And then continue. La ma'nan. What would that mean?
ma'nan.
What does ma'na mean? Ma'na.
Doesn't mean to obey, right? Like ma, okay.
Are you taking it from like Urdu? uh,
Like meaning.
yeah, meaning. La ma'nan. Okay, so what's who can tell me a holistic translation? وَالَّذِينَ يَقُومُونَ بِهَا and also, did everyone get surah too? What did we get? Don't be shy. Don't be shy, I'll only be a little bit mad. It's fine. Zane, what do you get?
Um, I had a fatha. I had a fatha on this because I thought it was maful mutlaq.
Yeah, I thought it was maf'ul lahu, like they're doing it for show. So, but yeah, I think yeah, I put fatha.
Okay, so we got maf'ul lahu, maf'ul mutlaq. All right, Maham, what did you get?
I also put fatha for maf'ul lahu, like reason.
Zach, what about you? What was your grammatical role for surah?
Yeah, like the reasoning. So that's why I put that too.
Okay, so yeah, think about it, right? وَالَّذِينَ يَقُومُونَ بِهَا صُورَةً. So be suratan. Okay, not just fatha, fathatain. Suratan la ma'nan. So let's think about it, right? The why are they why are or it's almost like how. So the question is, what about hal? Could that be it? Hal, the condition that the fa'il, the
But
state the fa'il is in?
yeah, I think doesn't that describe like the state during an action or the state of the receiver of an action? I,
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think this is a temporary thing. I think it sounds like it's like more of like a general description of what they do and why they're doing it. It's like kind of like I was sad when I broke the wall. Like that's I feel like more like a had because I was sad when I broke the wall, but that was like no. It's like because I'm not doing an action.
Like, I don't- you were cooking until like you just lost me at that one.
I needed that choke job at the end.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, I
Why
just
would
needed that choke job in the end.
no. You're right that this describes the state of the doer or the fa'il or the maf'ul bihi. And this is not surah is not describing the fa'il or the maf'ul bihi, right? Surah just means image. So I would agree that this is describing the reason behind is behind why someone is doing something, and it would be maf'ul lahu would make more sense to me. Okay, and
Could you
then
show an example of of hal again? Like, is that also nasab
yeah, you would
case and
say
all that?
something like um uh ضرب زيد عامرا غضبانا. ضرب is فعل, زيد is
فاعل
عامر is
مفعول به.
غضبانا. غضبان means angry, someone who is angry. This is حال because it's describing Zayd. It's describing the fa'il during the time of hitting.
Okay, now I see what you mean by there's some overlap sometimes. Like something could look like it's hal. Yeah.
Yes,
Hal.
yes. But I believe okay, and we'll have to look back at the hal, the rules of hal. But hal has to be like a descriptor. For example, someone who is angry, right? You wouldn't say anger. You wouldn't say like a masdar here. You wouldn't put a masdar. It can't be a masdar. Doesn't really make sense, right? You wouldn't describe someone with a masdar unless it's like a figurative language. But so I think that's an additional rule. So yeah, suratan makes more sense. Okay, so la ma'nan, what would ma'nan be? Sorry, I need to take this call. It's pretty important.
I think I had
It's like
Matu
a,
for this one.
would you
Sorry, what
put,
do you?
oh, you guys are saying?
No, go ahead.
It's like to show meeting, right? Like, what is the role of the la here? But I'm not sure. It's not negating anything, is it?
Yeah, I think it is negating. It's like they're doing it for show, not meaningfully, or like not.
Oh, not meaning I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That makes sense. But still,
I found that the definition of ma'an is essence. I don't know if you guys saw that too, or I don't know, remember where I got it from. Not in essence, that's what I had. Maybe it's meaning though. I think it makes more sense, like not in meaning.
I think that was one of the other like synonym definitions that made sense. Let me look it up again.
But did you guys have Matu for this one then, based on what we just learned, that la can also be a wow function or no?
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it has two functions in this case, you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying the grammatical role of ma'na. Like if I were to say the grammatical role, I would put Matuf ala surah.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know that la can take on two functions at the same time. I think that's what I'm confused about, what I'm asking. Like, so can it be both can it cause the next word to be ma'tuf, which I totally agree that does make a lot of sense, but can it also negate? Because it's definitely
Yes.
negate.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stepped away. But yeah, la would be harf atf and nafi. I don't know why I put that. Wow. Okay. There we go. And nafi. Um and yeah. And then ma'nan would be ma'tuf ala surah. Okay, and then what is al-mura'una? Ooh, this is a spicy one.
Yeah, this is like it's like that word means like hypocrites basically, like the ones who show off, right?
I
Show
think
off, yeah.
no, yeah, yeah, show off, yeah, yeah, that's what I got.
That's translation. Grammatical role, please.
Al-ma'una.
I ordered a grammatical role and you guys are giving me a translation. I would like a refund.
Ooh, I think I know what this is. I think
Well,
this is about the
yeah, is
That
this
okay? That's wild. Can you back it up?
what would you say?
well, no, I'm
Oh,
not
no, I
sure.
think it's
Well,
badal. Badal to what?
because it's saying like to el walladina because it's like saying like the ones that perform it to not meaning it and then comma the one who shows off with their deeds. It's like the saying the same. It's like it's a substitution or it could be a sifa, I guess, but it's like technically like a substitute. I don't know.
So if it was a sifa, what would it be? Sifa 2. Sorry. Sorry. What would it be sifa 2?
Like adding, well, I think it's like badal, I guess, but I think it is badal, but like sifa would also be the alladhi. Like you're describing more about that person, the hypocrites, basically.
What do you guys think? Zach has spoken and no one else has.
I I thought it was khabar.
Khabar. Where's your mubtada?
الذي like it's a little bit separate because I was thinking like الذي like the ones who do it for show and not like are hypocrites. So that's how I was looking at it.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I might be going even more left field, but I remember we talked about how the West sometimes does kind of weird things where like it can almost like create a new sentence. I'm like wondering if the murauna is mubtada and the be a'malihim is a khabar plus mudaf ilayh. Because you do have a khabar can be a
Okay,
combination of
so okay, so let's break this down. You guys are challenging me, mashallah. Al-mura'una bi'a'malihim. Let's say that's mubtada khabar, then you are saying that the mubtada would be the ones who show off is or are with their action. Does that make any sense?
no.
The ones who show off are with that action. Okay, so Tamir has been eliminated from the game, unfortunately. All right, Zain, what did you say? You said it's like for alladhina here.
Yeah.
Okay, and notice I'm going to use logic that you guys all have the ability to do, right? But I need you guys to take that extra step. Alladhina, so you're saying um those who um those who establish, their prayer, do whatever, out of, for their image and not for any sort of actual meaning and not for the sake of meaning. Uh, they are the ones who show off with their actions. This kind of makes sense, but I feel like it's redundant. I feel like it's a bit redundant. And if something is redundant, then I would rather go with something else. And that's actually what kind of Zach said, which is what if al-mura'una is just the sifa to this alladina, right? وَالَّذِينَ يَقُومُونَ بِهَا صُورَةً لَا مَعْنًا الْمُرَاءُونَ بِأَعْمَالِهِمْ. That they're doing this out of showing off and not for any sort of meaning. And, they're basically just showing off with their actions. It's just kind of like adding on um, an adjective, a descriptor to them. And that's okay. If a sifa in Arabic, you'll oftentimes find it's very redundant. It's just adding more of the same meaning, maybe a little bit extra. Um, but a mubtada khabar is not oftentimes redundant. You don't oftentimes just say mubtada is mubtada, right? You usually have some sort of new information that you're presenting. Does that make sense to everyone? How we got there? Do I
Is that a general thing that the mubtada and khabar are like they can't be that far apart?
No, 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 that's not an issue. Distance is never an issue in Arabic. You can have the mubtada on one line, and you can have the khabar on line 20 if you wanted to, as long as everything in the middle is solid. And this is actually done by Imam Ghazali a lot, which is annoying in the beginning because you're like, what is going on? You'll have like all these like things going on in between, and then you'll have like the khabar at the end, or you'll have like the khabar inna at the end, or you'll have the jawab shart like after lines and lines of reading. Um, but yeah, the distance is not an issue. Okay, so let's take a break here. Let's go pray Maghrib for whoever needs to pray Maghrib, and then we'll come back and continue. For those who do not need to pray, go ahead and just continue. Make sure you have everything set up, and then, yeah, we'll see each other in like a couple minutes. Hmm. Get back to it. Okay. Okay. Let's continue forward. Um, sorry, I'm not keeping track of who read last, but Tamir, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. Sorry, let me pull this thing up. So for this one, I got وقد توعدت shut down
Yep, got it.
on the الفريقين um
فريقين
فريقين sorry
فريقين right? We're only talking about two, right?
or
Why are you saying فريقين
فريقين yeah um
فريقين
بالويل
hmm
وال um هلاك
hmm
وش
Okay, let's stop there. What does that mean?
um and it has threatened both groups with doom and destruction. And sorry, I think this is a very basic question, but when we keep saying waqada, that just means and indeed, right?
Yeah, yeah. So whenever you see a qad, you know a couple of things. Number one, there's going to be some sort of emphasis. Doesn't matter how you're emphasizing it. And then you also know 100% that there's going to be a fi'al madi after it. Okay, good. Zain, why don't you go next?
Um, و وشنعت
Mm-hmm.
عليهم
Mm-hmm.
أعتم sorry أعزم
You're right the first time. أعظم. But what's on the meme?
أعظم آه، تشنيعا
What's on the meme though? أعظم. All right, who's going to steal?
Sorry, where are we?
Right here.
You're asking what's on the screen.
أعزم
Yeah.
أعظم. تشنيع. What's on the
عن فتحة
فتحة?
I have kasratain.
It's kasratain, right? So if there was a fatha, then it would have to be fathatain, and then it would look like this. Because there's no reason to only put a fatha alone, right? There's no reason to cancel out tanween. So if there was a fatha, then it would be a fathatain, and it would look like that. أعظم تشنيع. Okay. What does that mean, Zain?
Uh, it um like the great like slander on them. Um, I had like
Slander.
I had slander as the meaning of
Is that what everyone else got?
shanaat.
Did everyone else get the same thing?
Yeah, like slander, denounce.
Yeah, condemn them in the severest manner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got dishonor, disgrace. Okay. So, and the surah disgraced them أعظم تشنيع in the
Like
greatest
greatest way.
possible, right? Okay, good. Zach,
بأسلوب
بأسلوب.
بأسلوب الاستغراب
Mhm.
والتعجيب.
تعجيب.
Yeah. This one is interesting. So this is like it's like astonishment and then to cause astonishment. This almost looks like back to back. Sorry, this is like the definition.
وتعجيبي because I think it was um معطوف على yeah that word.
Yeah. So then I would just be the same copy the B. Is that what
Of
you're
that.
saying?
من.
من ذلك الصنيع.
So remember, ذلك, you should make صنيع would be the بدل, right? So this would copy ذلك.
الصنيعي.
Yeah, good. jar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means and denounce upon them, of course, shaming with a manner of astonishment to cause astonishment from that deed
Um,
or something like that.
did
Like
everyone get the same thing, or did anyone? Maham, what did you get for translation?
I said like as a way of expressing astonishment and amazement from that deed
Deed, is that what you guys got for صنيع?
or action.
Yeah, like
Using
action. Yeah.
using a style of astonishment and wonder at such an action.
Good, good, good. Okay, good. Um, okay. Any questions here? Okay, for the sake of time, I do want to move on to Surah Al-Kawthar and at least touch on it. Um, Let me pull it up real quick. So I'm hoping that we can quickly go through and just read it, read in vowel, at least before the end of class. Read, vowel, translate. All right, let's get started. Maham, can you start us off?
Yeah. سورة الكوثر مكيتي um, وقد
سورة الكوثر. What's after that?
مكيتي
مكيتي.
مكيتي
also, quick question: Is it's Kawthari? Is that like mudaf ilay? Is that why or
Yeah, it's fine.
Murat of Kawthar?
I think Mecca is غير منصرف, so I think it has to be Mecca. Might put way
This is
off.
not Mecca. This is Makkiyah.
Oh,
Mecca is right, غير منصرف, because it's a name and it's a feminine name. But over here, this is not a name. This is saying Makkiyah. Okay, Surah Al-Kawthar. What is Makkiyah? Makkiyah
Two.
tun. Why is it tun? Because it is the khabar, right? And this is something we've seen before, right? Suratul Fil Makkiyatun, Suratul Quraysh Makkiyatun, right? All these surahs are all Makkiyah. So mubtada khabar. All right, continue, Muhammad.
وقد تحدثت عن فضل الله
عن
العظيم.
عن فضل وطن اللام
uh, فضل.
ولا فتحة.
Ye or would it be فضل? فضل.
Well, look on what's before fadl.
It's عن.
عن,
That's
what is عن?
حرف.
It is a harf. What type of harf?
Um, it's حرف. Is it حرف
Someone is
جر?
doing donuts outside.
jar,
This is pretty crazy.
harf,
Um,
jar.
harf
حرف
jar.
جر.
Yes, very good. Okay, it's a harf jar. So عن فضلي
فضل
and continue.
الله.
Yeah,
And then على العظيم على نبيه الكريم.
good. Wow, they're still going. Wow. Okay. What's crazy is that CHP is like right there, so they're definitely hearing this. Okay. What does that mean, Maham?
Surah Al-Kawthar is a Meccan surah. It speaks about the wisdom of Allah on the Prophet, on the most noble Prophet.
Not wisdom. Fadl is virtue, okay?
Oh, virtue, sorry. Yeah.
A virtue or favor, all of those together. Okay. Very good. Let's go to Tamir.
Uh, so, um, بإعطائه
Mm-hmm.
الخير الكثيرة ونعمة والنعمة sorry العظيم
نعمة.
نعمة نعمة العظيمة
Mm-hmm.
في الدنيا والآخرة ومنها um, نهر
Let's
الكوثر
stop there. Okay. So what is bi'atai? What does that mean?
um, by giving him a lot of goodness and great blessings in the dunya and the akhirah.
Very good. Zain, go ahead.
ومنها نهر ومنها نهر الكوثر وغير ذلك من الخير عظيم العميم.
Good. What does that mean?
Uh, and from it, um, the river Kawthar and all the other,
So don't forget your is. Well, and from it is.
and from it is the river Kawthar and uh, all the other, all the others of um, from the goodness, from the great goodness, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and all other general immense goodness. And then it's implicit that that Allah has provided to the Prophet. We all good in this first part? We all good here?
Why is the fact that you said there's an is means that there's a mubtada and khabar there?
Oh, absolutely.
The khabar is that minha and then the nahar is mubtada?
Hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. So remember what I said earlier. So here's another rule to remember. You have a indefinite mubtada if you have an indefinite mubtada, that's condition number one. And condition number two is that your khabar is jar majroor. Like it's a harf jar and ism majroor. Then what happens if you have these two together? What happens? That it's going to be khabar first and then your mubtada. Okay? So for example, look at this. Our mubtada is indefinite and our khabar is a jar and majroor. Therefore, the khabar must come first. Minha nahru. I can't say nahrun minha. Okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's continue. Zach, go ahead.
فقد دعت الرسول إلى إدا- إدامة الصلاة ونحر الهدي or هدي شكرا شكر الله.
Shukran. So remember, if there's no hamza here, if there's no hamza here,
شك شك wait شكرا
shukran lillahi.
شكرا لله. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so this is Allah right here. This is lillah. Okay. What does that mean, Zach?
The surah called like Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam upon maintenance of or continuation of salah and sacrificing animals in gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Very good. Okay. All right. Maham.
Um, the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
وختمت السورة ببشارة الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم بخزي أعدائه. I don't know if that was the right spelling on the last word.
Good. بخزي أعدائه. Very good. What does that mean?
The surah ended with the good news of the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the disgrace of his enemies.
Sorry, could you say that middle part again one more time? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. The surah ended with the good news of the messenger sallallahu alaihi
Okay.
wasallam, and then with the disgrace of his enemies.
Okay, yeah. So as long as you mean that the good news, so it's saying the good news is basically is the disgrace of his enemies. Okay. Now you said khutima instead of khatama. Why is that? I think that makes sense actually.
Yeah, I looked this one up, I think.
That's very good. Very, very good. Yeah, so khatama means to finish something, to complete something.
And this is saying the surah was finished.
Yeah, and the khutimat as-surah too. The surah was completed.
Passive.
Yeah, passive. Yep, yep. It's a very good catch. I think yesterday I might have, or the other day I was telling others that it was khatama, so good catch. Okay, let's continue, Tamir.
Yeah. We left off. Okay. Um, wa wasif ووصفت مبغي
Wasifat or wasafat? Wasafa, right? Wasafa
ووصفت
yasifu?
ووصفت ووصفت مبغضيه بال بالذلة
بالذلة.
بالذلة um وال um والحقارة.
Good. What does that mean?
It describes his haters as disgraced and contemptible.
Okay, very good. Okay. We're gonna stop here for now. We'll continue with Surah Al-Kawthar next time. In the last 7 minutes, we're going to actually do an additional form. So far we've done forms one, right? Just like nasara. Forms two, like fassara. Forms four, like s. Wow, they are still doing burnouts out there. Aslama. We've done form five, like tahaddatha. Okay. And we've covered all these forms. So now we've done, did I miss one? No, right? Yeah. Okay. So,
Well,
sorry.
Form 8, the one
Form
that has.
eight. Yes. We have also done form eight. Thank you. I was like, I thought we did three forms. If ta'ala, like ijtama'a, right? Okay. We're going to learn about form six. So let's make some room. We're going to learn about form six. Okay. And it's actually very similar to Form 5. So if you're remembering Form 5, then it's going to be really easy to remember Form 6. And that's going to be, I'm trying to think of a good example. Tasamaha. Let's say tasamaha. Yeah, I'll say that. Tasamaha. Okay. So if you notice, both Form 5 and Form 6 have this that at the beginning. The real difference here is that another difference here is that instead of a shadda, there's also now a fatha here, or rather a fatha right there. Okay, so let's walk through the sarf saghir. So you're going to say tasamaha, and it's actually going to be the same thing as what we do to Form 5. Yatasamahu. Yatasamahu. Okay, then we're going to do command form, right? تسامح. Then we're going to do مصدر. تسامح. تسامح. And then we're going to do اسم فاعل. متسامح. And اسم مفعول. متسامح. Okay. تسامح. يتسامح. تسامح. تسامح. متسامح. متسامح. You all good so far? Okay. What does Form 6 mean? Okay. Form 6 means that there are two parties involved. This is party one, this is party two, and they are applying the action to each other. So what does tasamaha mean, for example? Tasamaha means, so it comes from the seen meme ha, right? Uh, and this means to pardon, to forgive. So tasamuh would mean to forgive each other. Now, you actually also know this Form 6 if you know the last 10 surahs, or I guess, yeah. So it would be in Surah Al-Asr. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات و anyone
تواصل.
تواصوا تواصوا. Okay, so this one's a little bit interesting. It's a little hard to see because there has weak root letters in it. But tawasaw is coming from wasiyya, wasiyya, wasiyyatun. Wasiyya means advice. This is like the form one. So tawasaw would mean advise each other. Tawasaw is the command form. So again, remember this action, right? That by time, indeed, innal insana lafi khusr, all of mankind is in constant loss. إلا الذين آمنوا, except those who believe, وعملوا الصالحات, and those who do good deeds, وتواصوا بالحق, and they advise each other. Each other is the important part here. بالحق, with truth. وتواصوا بالصبر, and they advise each other with patience. Okay, so that's form 6 for you guys. Okay, and that's where we're going to end it. Okay, so it's easier to remember something like tasamaha instead of tawasla because that's more complicated. But that is now form 6. Does anyone have any questions about form 6? Okay, we'll practice it a little bit more next time, inshallah. But we're out of time today, so we'll stop there. Are there any other general questions? Now, I know that Tamir, I think you asked a question in the group chat about forms and meanings of forms. And I think inshallah it'll be best if we do like more, give it some more time in class rather than just answer the question. But to answer your question, it's essentially very similar. It's basically almost the same thing. Um, but inshallah we'll give some more time, maybe diving into more depth of like what does this form mean, what does that form mean, and some more characteristics and some more examples, inshallah. Okay, Jazakallah khairan, everyone. I appreciate your time. Inshallah, I will see you all on Monday. Okay? Keep me in your du'as and I'll update the homework. You'll have something for Surah Al-Kafirun. So you'll have the Unvowelled reader, then you'll have the surah itself as well. And then we'll go from there, inshallah. Take care and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
I do have office hours with you right now. Should we go to the other link or
Up to you.
I'm fine either way.
Okay, cool. Are you going to talk about anything private or do you want to just keep this on the recording or?
Yeah, we can keep it on the recording. I don't mind. It's actually Qasas an-Nabiyyin. I did the next chapter. I know it's been a long time since we did it, but it was chapter 12, Ila Makkah.
Yeah, okay. You want to share your screen?
It's on my iPad. Should I maybe
Let me see if I have it somewhere.
should shot it on? Oh, I do.
Is it no vowels or vowels?
Vowels.
Why are you reading with vowels, brother? You don't need those anymore.
No, I said no vowels.
Oh no, oh, you said no vowels? Okay, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You gave me the no vowel version, and I've been using that.
This is crazy. I don't know. They're like doing it down the street and they've just been doing it constantly for the past like 20 minutes.
I'm gonna send you the snapshot of it.
I really want to go check out what's happening, but whatever.
15 minutes.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so إلى مكة وغضب قوم إبراهيم وغضب الملك وغضب والد إبراهيم وأراد إبراهيم أن يسافر إلى بلد آخر ويعبد
Yeah.
معطوف فيه الله ويدعو الناس إلى الله وخرج إبراهيم من بلده وودع والده whoa, brothers and sisters in Islam. وودع والده. What happened? What happened here?
Which
What
one?
happened? والده?
What isn't that his father? Walid.
Yeah, why is walid in the state of jar?
Oh, it should be walidahu. Waladahu.
There we go.
Walidahu. Walidahu.
Yeah, you put walidihi.
I don't know why I did that. Should be waladahu.
Walidahu. Yeah.
Walid, sorry, walidahu. Yeah.
وقصد إبراهيم مكة.
Wait. Sorry, hold on. What about the wa there?
There's like three of them, brother. Which one? Talking about?
The wa is, I think I was thinking, was it maybe ma'tuf?
In the wow in walid,
Oh no, what the heck am I talking about? Never mind.
I agree with
Never
you. What the heck?
Wait, but what wada'a, that's
Hmm.
a verb fi'il. So there isn't walida. Oh, yes, nasab. We made it nasab. Never mind. Maf'ul bihi.
There we go. There we go.
So the dhamma at the end tripped me up, but it's a mudaf ilayh. Yeah.
Okay. وقصد إبراهيم مكة ومعه زوجه هاجروا. And that's بدل.
But it's not the same state, which doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. Why is زوج?
زوجه yeah
زوجه.
ومعه it should be زوجه
زوجة. Why is it منصوب?
زوج ها زواجه
Uh, are you saying زوج? So what state is it in? Tell me the state.
yeah زوج should be a say just رفع.
رفع. Why?
I mean it has no other reason to be anything else.
Well,
ومع
there's a reason it's in رفع.
ومعه
Can I like move you to my phone and check out what's happening?
yeah, is it because of the is she also a doer here? No.
No. You're overthinking it.
I mean, if it's not going to be isn't valid, the only other thing that I know is that's instead of